Hey y'all, Levon here with Mark McCutcheon. We're back with another video on the 34 versus the 42 HD. This time I'm going to go through settings probably a little slower, try to keep the two units on the same numbers. A lot of people had feedback on that. Going to try a few different color palettes that I'm not so comfortable with, but seems like a lot of other people like using them, so we'll give them a whirl. We're going to start out, I'm going to reset to defaults on both the 34 and the 42 HD, and we'll see what we got. We've got a south wind on this lake today, and there's a nice hump that I'm going to set up on that I'll be able to see up onto. So we'll get the basin down low, and then up top we'll get weeds, and maybe we'll see some fish. Alright, so just so everyone can see it, I'm gonna edit our sonar here. I already did this once. Sonar setup, installation, restore defaults. Yes. Okay. Alright, so everything's in default mode. I'm gonna go back to our combo, let it find bottom. Go try and find this hump. So to get the range the same, we're gonna set this to 90, put that at 90. That way the range is the same. Auto values were showing up different. I didn't change nothing. Just for reference, 71% on the 42, 71% on the 34. Lots of fish out in this basin today. Normally I would have just blown right to this hump, but lots of different fish to pan around and look at. See how close we're getting. Let the wind blow us back into it. Alright, there's our hump. Some weeds. Some fish. Using a 3/8 ounce jig right here with a flat tail drop shot. I'm gonna go out and around this hump. That way I can see the settings as I'm making adjustments. I got way too much glare. You guys can't see it because I'm screen recording, but. Put the basin right now to the changes almost coming out of the water. Alright, some fish on bottom at 60 feet and closing. Decent marks on both at 65 feet right there. Good mark on bottom at 40. Just made a cast. I see it on the 34, barely see it on the 42. Try and drop right on where that fish was. Oh, what do we get? Oh, it picked it right up. Mm, 12-inch, something like that. All right, so now we're spot locked. We're looking at this hump. We're gonna mess with some settings here. So we'll go down to 75 feet. 75 feet. Then we're gonna go sonar setup, noise reject low. Then we're gonna turn our color gain up to 85, and I'm gonna do that on the LVS34 as well. Noise reject low, auto off. Okay, so now we're gonna go back up here, the plus, low, auto off, appearance, color gain, 85%. Probably a little hotter. That's where I like it on blue. So that's what you get. So I'm gonna make a cast. I'm trying to hit about 50 feet. Oh man, this is gonna make for a good video if these fish cooperate like this all day. So you can see fish coming off on both screens. LVS34 is a little hotter. Got 4 bass on both screens, 40 foot out. See my lure tracking through the noise on the 42 pretty well. I'm going to turn down the gain a little bit on 65. Okay. See what we got here. I think both of them look a little better. There's my jig falling at 50. Coming up. Just got whacked. A lot more fun when the fish cooperate on top of it. Cookie cutter from the last one. My favorite color is the little super Chad. That series. Impact at 70. Couldn't really see it on the screen. Maybe you can in the video, but I saw it barely in person. Can't see my bait on any screen. Oh, I just didn't. No aim. There's a fish on bottom. I can see it on the 34, but can't see it on the 42. Let's see what these two want to do. I feel like I need to summon my inner bass fisherman and put on a jerk bait. I'm not very good with them, but I feel like this is where I see people doing really well with them. One came from the left. All right, I'm gonna try different bait here, see what we can come up with. Return bait, but see what's smaller. Good opportunity to see what looks like on sonar too. While these fish are off to the right here, I'll cast and see what we can see with the 42 with this 1/4 ounce at 70 feet, since it's pretty clear. And we got fish to throw at. I'm gonna turn this gain up real quick, just see what we get. I think we were at 65, gotta keep it the same. Everyone wanted to see the same. All right, so we got a bunch over there. Impact at 55, fallen. Can't see it on the 30 or the 42 yet. Really fine dot on the 42. It's clear, but it's just really small. Got a fish going to it on bottom now. I'll give it a couple bumps. He's chasing it along bottom pretty good. There he is. Okay. Let's go see what's back on this hump. Now we got a small little creature bait. I don't know if that's called a football jig or not. Okay, if you look out at 65, 70 feet on the 44, look at how much more detail there is on those weeds. And along the fringe, as you're rolling up onto that hump, tons more detail on the weeds. So, guys pulling fish out of the weeds all the time, I think that's going to be a real big plus. I didn't let that sink near as long as I should have. Impact at 55. I'm out of the weeds. I lost it for a second. I'm gonna flip over to full screen 42. I'm gonna turn my depth down so I get a little bit more clarity up on this top of this hump. There's my bait. I'm gonna turn the gain up. There's the bait at 40. Got some fish moving to it. I'll start creeping it along bottom. I'm gonna land right on a fish at 32.5. Saw someone mention it's kind of laggy. Turn that gain down, see if we think it's a little better. Not noticing too much lag here. There was a fish at 45 right there. Bait falling at 52.5. Increasing the gain doesn't really do as much for you on the 42 as it did on the 34. Alright, we'll go back to the dual screen. 34 flickering is because it's coming out of the water. Show you what I mean. It's literally barely in there. I bought the wrong boat for this test. Switch back to a Ned rig here. Emerald. Emerald. All right, so we got fish right underneath us. Let's see. Oh, they are feisty. What we got? So when I zoomed it in, looks like I could go down on the gain for the 42 quite a bit. Let's check out this bottom separation. All right, I'm tight on bottom. Oh, that's gonna be a good test. Put this back to 65. Make sure I'm still 65 here. 10 foot, 10 foot. Obviously this is forward mode still. Go 30, 30. All right, so I'm gonna tight on bottom, coming up. Pretty close. If anything, the 34 is slightly laggier. Not much. I'm talking minimal. But from feeling what I'm doing to what reality is, or what's on the screen, rather. Ever so slight. All right, there's a fish at 35 and 40 coming down the hill. Nice impact on the 34, got it on the 42. I'm gonna burn it in to get it into this little pot of fish right here. Seeing it both. Make sure my gain's still the same. 65, 65. I don't think the 42 needs as much gain as the 34 does. And drop the 42 down to 60. Nice pot of fish coming off the break. They don't want to play. They've already seen their buddies get caught. All right, so we'll go out to 80. Let's go on the hunt. I can't see nothing. Here's where your 42 might need some gain. Look at this open basin. As you're running out of power, transmission into the water, you need that gain back to power through, because I'm gonna cut the screen recording here. The way this 42 is working is you've got 1.6 megahertz, I think it was. That's going to penetrate the water with more detail, but not be able to penetrate as far. That's going to be the next test, is the 44 versus the 34, because they're very similar. We're supposed to be getting about 50 feet more range with the 44. So your open basin guys, ever since I saw this cut sheet, I've been thinking that the 44 was the way to go. But that structure fishing, as you just saw, was really, really good with the 42. I really like that. Let's try and mess around with it in the open basin and leave it at 80 foot for a while. And I'll get these settings dialed back in. We'll pull up the screen recording so that 65 and 80, 65 and 80, 35 foot of depth. See what we can come up with. So we got a ball of bait out at 75 feet and a couple fish right in front of it. We'll try and hit that one at 71, 72 on top of the bait ball. Nice impact. Clicked in my bail a little too soon. Oh, we got us a player. Still not seeing it hardly on the 42. Can see my jig pretty well, 45, 47 feet. Kick it over to amber again. Not really digging this emerald. I was feeling this amber a little bit better on both. So 55, 50. Let's turn our gain back down. I think the 42 likes a little less gain. 68. 68. Oh, we should see really good. Yeah, look at that definition on those weeds. See a fish right in the middle of them. I think I shortchanged myself on the cast. Little guy got off. I'm gonna spot lock and let the boat turn around, and I'm gonna drop this down to 20, drop this down to 20. Boat's gonna spin, so we'll just let it do its thing, get our bait fixed. Take a moment to appreciate that weed definition. Fish floating around there at 35. That was a bad cast. $55 feet. Struggling to find my jig. There it is. All right, we're gonna cut her there. I gotta go get the kid from daycare here in a minute. And I think this was a little bit better comparison. Like I said in the first video, I'm not much of a bass fisherman. I don't fish the weeds a ton. I fish the Great Lakes for walleye, and that's mostly open basin. And the way I fish is I fish suspended fish. So I'm looking for the color palette and the gain settings that make my eyes locate those fish, even if they're not fully in the cone. That way I can make a cast on them quickly and efficiently, because in the Great Lakes you get usually one chance, maybe two, as an amateur fisherman, to where I'm not going to sit and throw 35 times at a 5-6 pounder. Just not happening. So tournament guys, yeah, you got to, but when there's 3-foot waves and I can ride the wave and find a new pod and set the hook again on something else, that's what I'm gonna do. So hope this helps. I do think the weeds were a lot better today. Maybe it's the sun, maybe it's the color palette, I don't know. But thanks for watching. Appreciate the feedback on the last one. You're gonna help make me a better all-around fisherman, and that's what I need to do in order to help everyone's boats get rigged correctly. So thanks again.